Go ahead and call me a prepper, but I think there's three types of radio that everyone ought to have on hand in case of some unspecified emergency. The first type I've covered in some depth here. A nice AM/FM shortwave radio. This one has single sideband. You can listen in on some ham frequencies. Always good to have. Rechargeable battery. Also for person-to-person communications, it's a good idea to have some type of walkie-talkie, big box store, blister pack type walkie-talkie. Doesn't require any kind of certification or licensure to use. Cheap and easy to find. And number three, something that kind of covers the vast gray area in between these two. And that's what we're going to look at today. Hello everyone. We're going to look just briefly today at this Baofeng, however you want to pronounce it, handheld ham radio. You will find thousands upon thousands of videos on YouTube covering this radio, so I don't feel like I need to go too in depth, but I think it's the type of radio that is a good idea to have handy in case of a unspecified emergency. One thing you will discover quickly if you watch any of the videos available online is discussion about the legality of using this radio. So let me just take the next 30 to 45 seconds to say, yes, it is legal to own this radio. It is legal to listen to whatever you want on this radio. To broadcast on ham radio bands on this radio, you need to be certified or have the licensure, ham radio operators certification to do that. True. This radio can also broadcast on Frs frequencies, which are the ones used by these blister pack walkie-talkie type radios. And while it can transmit on those frequencies, it is technically illegal to do so because this device is not certified for that type of communication, that type of transmission. It has to do with the wattage and the fact that it has a removable antenna and, I don't know, some other red tape, bureaucratic type stuff. So you'll get a lot of, you'll read a lot of blowback and arguments from some particular types of ham radio operators that badmouth these Baofeng radios, or the types of people that buy them, which I guess is me. But I look at it kind of like a flare gun. It's legal for me to own a flare gun. It is not legal for me to go out into the yard and fire the flare gun indiscriminately for no good reason. But it's awfully nice to have the flare gun in case of an emergency when I'm lost at sea or some such. So this is like a flare gun, only you can also do some actually interesting and fun stuff with it that you can't do on a flare gun, which maybe they should think about making flare guns where you can play Tetris on them or something. But that's a video for another day. So what do I use this for? I use it only for listening. Again, I could broadcast in an emergency. It's perfectly legal in an emergency situation to broadcast on ham frequencies or Frs frequencies or what have you on this device, because the emergency supersedes any bureaucratic nonsense. But listening is always okay. So what do I listen to? You can find online lists of frequencies based on your geographic area for things like fire dispatch, emergency medical dispatch, police dispatch, and the tactical units in the patrol cars. You can listen in on a lot of that traffic. It's perfectly fine to do that. Your tax dollars paid for that equipment that they're using. So I have programmed into this, and you can program a good number of frequencies, 120 or so, I think, 130. I don't remember the exact number. You can program in, and I have that for neighboring counties, nearby villages and cities, where I can listen in on their emergency broadcast and such. Also, utilities, the water sewer workers, the plow drivers, things of that character. You can listen in on those, and you can listen to Noaa weather stations on this. Very handy to do. Let's go ahead and listen to one of those.
Channel mode. 9.
In the upper 70s. Temperatures falling into the lower 70s in the afternoon. Chance of rain 80%. Here is a hazardous weather outlook for this afternoon and tonight.
So there you go.
Strong to severe storms will be.
I have a number of stations programmed in here for not too far away municipalities and such, as well as things that I just found on a scan. You can scan through all the frequencies and just pick up whatever traffic happens to be there at that moment, and you find some curious things that way. In fact, just today,
Frequency mode.
I picked up what appears to be a taxi service dispatch, and they, for whatever reason, have all of their telephone communications going through the radio, so you can listen in to people dialing in, ordering taxi service. I believe it may be out of Columbus, but suddenly it's silent, but I've been listening to it all day, off and on, just because it was entertaining. I'm going to leave that there. So this is the Baofeng UV-5R, and there it is. Nothing personal, hopefully, that they'll give. Yeah, I'm not going to listen too much to that, just in case. UV-5R and its variations. There's endless variety of radio names for these. I don't know if you can, let me unlock this. UV-5R5, it has to do with the wattage, I think. This one is a BF F8+. They're pretty much all the same radio. They might have slight differences, but if it looks like this, it's pretty much a UV-5R, and the instructions you can find online will help you to operate it. As I've said, it has a removable antenna. I have lengthier ones for a little more range that you can attach. Rechargeable battery just clips in there. I have a USB charge capable charger with a solar panel that I can charge up in the case of an electric outage, where I may need this to listen into emergency services or such, or weather, whatever it happens to be, or just listen to taxis that aren't going anywhere because of whatever unspecified disaster I'm listening in on. What else? There's a jack on the side for plugging in an earpiece or a separate microphone, or connecting a data cable. You can connect this to your PC and program this device using a PC and free software called Chirp that allows you to program in presets. You can do most of that on the keypad itself without the cable. There's a few things that you really need to connect it to a PC to do, like naming the various presets that you set, which I've done some of on here. I have all of these frequencies programmed in here, and you can listen in on this Baofeng on all of the walkie-talkie frequencies that are set aside for walkie-talkie type traffic. So you can pick that up from time to time during harvest season, especially around here. You hear lots of farmers communicating on walkie-talkie. You can listen to that. Tremendous fun. Almost no end to the type of things you can listen in on these. And again, like a flare gun, in case of an emergency, good to have. You're lost in the woods, eating your own shoelaces, try to get help, you're no cell service, or you've dropped your cell into a crevasse, but somehow you kept your radio, maybe this clip helped it to stay attached to your person. There you go. So, again, call me a prepper. Not really a prepper. I don't feel prepared for just about anything, but just in case. Unspecified emergency, be nice to have around just for your entertainment day to day. Say you're trapped in your room and hardly ever leave because of a worldwide pandemic, and you're working from home and you almost never see the outside world. You can listen into the outside world. Not that that would ever happen. Anyway, just a real brief look at this radio. Find reviews online. Might be something you're interested in. Check back again. I periodically do radio reviews. Certainly books, Bibles, graphite pencils, typewriters. Who knows? Check in, see what I'm doing at that moment. Watch what you like those things that you watch, and hope to see you here again next time.